Sino to Badyet and Goliath, Philippine?
These are Philippine companies, agencies, Madam Chair. But technically, ma'am, these are very small and modest amounts compared to our neighbors. And with the reach that we are able to gain by 1.25, we are able to attain certain numbers of our key markets. However, it is really not enough. Our competitors are playing the digital field much better than we are.
Dahil first time namin makita yung breakdown ng branding, please explain to us, sige, back to the first page, please. Yan. Explain to us what local media planning bayan, ayan, we understand that, right? Explain. Yan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to explain, one-liners each. So
for local media planning, buying, and placement, we need to be present likewise in the local sphere or domestic tourism. We should be able to advertise, show, and encourage visitors to our various destinations. For example, Secretary has mentioned that we are doing the Philippine Experience Program. So we are heavily also advertising that in the social media space.
Local media planning, again, is social media. That will go under digital. I would think that local media planning and buying, media buys, would be on television and radio and print.
Ma'am, there are two areas that the branding office allocates budget to. It's local and international. For this particular segment, there's this local, which is our domestic market, and the rest po are allocated for our international media buying and placements.
On the first line, local media planning.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you referring to tri-media, mainstream, traditional media? Because you said Facebook, that would fall under 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth expense would be digital media, and the sixth, not under local media.
Yes.
Tama?
Yeah, Madam Chair, if I may explain, local media placement handles two kinds of media, traditional and digital. So for the local market alone, we have two kinds of placements. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Iba pa yung digital sa David and Goliath na dalawa, iba pa yung local media for both mainstream, traditional, and digital.
Yes, madam. So, for example, for the first line po, that's only for our local media buying, placement, and planning. The rest po are international media buying, placement. And, for example, we are looking at emerging markets. So, we place digital advertisement there. And likewise, our existing markets or emerging opportunity markets, we place as well advertisement of the Philippines there.
Where does this come out? Nobody watches TV anymore, right? Like local media planning. Pag kampanya, di ba? Meron tayong mga ceiling expenditures for ads of candidates. Do you still put in television? Yeah. Give us, so local media planning would mean television, radio, and print, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you mean?
Let me just pull it out, ma'am.
It's the time of the chair. Sige,
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, we do place advertisement, as you mentioned, in local media, in traditional media. That also includes our OOH or billboard placements, airport placements, radio placements. We do not. You do po cable or TV. As you mentioned, very rare na po yung looking at advertisement in those particular medium. But part of traditional medium po is OOH placement or advertisements on billboard, whether static or dynamic. We also do, yes, madam.
Local media would be mainstream, meaning traditional, and outdoor advertising, and digital.
Yes, Madam Chair.
100+ million.
Yes, Madam Chair. May I go back to the table or you want to see post certain executions? Chair.
These, yung mga breakdowns, they're a combination of local advertisers and local companies and also foreign companies.
We procure po, Mr. Chair, local companies in the Philippines that engage for us international placements.
Okay. How do you monitor that? in international?
As mentioned by our Undersecretary for Admin and Finance, they do milestones. We pay them by milestones.
Okay.
So upon procurement po, we determine, the Department of Tourism determine the milestones that they should reach for us, for the Department of Tourism for the Philippines, and then they bill us for that particular milestones when we have checked their terminal reports, their statement of accounts, if we have seen the evidence of those placements or the contents that they have undergone for the department, and then they get paid po. So as mentioned po kanina, we were not able to pay all of them in 2023 because there are certain milestones that they must achieve and provide to the department before payment can be made, Madam Sir Chair.
The disbursement rate is low.
That
Because
is correct.
they haven't reached the milestone.
That is correct.
What is the ratio of digital and traditional?
May I get back to you on that, Mr. Chair, because
Is it more an estimate lang? Is it more traditional now, or is it more digital now compared to traditional?
it's I'm safe to say, Mr. Chair, 60% is digital and 40% is traditional.
Okay. So when we add that additional 500, what will be the ratio?
We would like to go more digital.
More digital?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
And based on your, well, the proof is in the pudding. Diba? So, based on your experience, if you do more digital, it will attract more tourists to come here to our country. We will now breach, hopefully, that 6 million mark.
That is correct, Mr. Chair. Almost
Based on your
all.
research, I'm sure you've done a
Yes.
lot of research na
Yes, sir.
if we increase digital reach, we will get more foot traffic or tourists to come to the Philippines.
We must have continued and sustained presence in the digital space, Mr. Chair, because that is where our competitors are playing and that is where we are lacking.
Okay, all right. Okay. If, let me go to a broader policy issue. What's the target of tourists to come to the Philippines next year for 2026? Right now, we're hitting 5.9, Madam Secretary, correct?
Yes, that is correct, Mr.
So,
Chair.
We're what's the target for 2026?
Mr. Chair, considering the limitations and devastation in our funding as far as promotions is concerned, we have been constrained to recalibrate our targets as they originally appeared in the National Tourism Development Plan. For 2026, the projection is around 6.67 million, considering all factors to be the same, meaning that the branding budget of the Department of Tourism continues to be not recovered to its pre-pandemic level
Which
of
is
over $1 billion.
the pre-pandemic level is $1 billion.
Over $1 billion,
Okay,
yes.
sorry. Okay. And then I pre-pandemic, we're hitting 8.2 million tourists.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And how come after the pandemic, which demographic or which countries have disappeared in the list of tourists coming to the Philippines?
Mr. Chair, the largest decline that we have suffered in terms of arrivals is from China.
Okay. Is that due to Pogo or is that due to geopolitics or both?
Well, Mr. Chair,
During 2019, that was the height of Pogo. We have about almost 200 to 250,000 Chinese here in the Philippines working in Pogos. But it's very hard to distinguish which ones are tourists, which ones are Pogos at that time because they're all mixed. But based on your studies, which countries disappeared from that high of 8.2 million tourists?
Mr. Chair, as far as China is concerned, data would show that in the ASEAN post-pandemic, our direct competitors liberalized their visa policies as far as China.
Mm.
Either they instituted electronic visas, provided visas on arrival, or removed the requirement of a visa entirely. In the case of the Philippines, while there was an attempt to institute an electronic visa for a few months, and which was the source of our confidence in terms of projecting the arrival of nearly 2 million Chinese by 2024, the electronic visa system was swiftly suspended by the Department of Foreign Affairs. And not only that, I understand that there are also stringent requirements as far as obtaining a visa from Chinese or by Chinese nationals. With that landscape of the Philippines not having an electronic visa system and having more stringent requirements for Chinese nationals, vis-a-vis our direct competitors in the ASEAN having very liberalized visa policies, it has placed the Philippines at a very disadvantaged position as far as its recovery.
Mm.
Hence, from the target of 2 million Chinese in 2024, we only received around 300,000 that year, to which we attribute the inability of the country to reach its original target of 7.7 million.
I remember talking to the chairperson about that electronic visa. I don't know, ma'am, if you remember, but that was during the heydays of Pogo. And both of us were very concerned and hesitant with that liberalized visa policies with China or Chinese tourists in particular, because that might be used as a backdoor for Pogos and also scamming activities. Now that Pogos have already banned, has been banned in our country, do you recommend that we resume that concept, at least study that concept in order to attract more Chinese tourists to come to the Philippines?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we recommend the reinstitution of an electronic visa system, provided that security features are there to ensure that those that are given electronic visas are actually tourists and would come to the country for no other reason. Which is why the template that we have recommended to the Department of Foreign Affairs is one that has been adopted by many other countries around the world. And that is to institute an e-visa system paired with a very stringent security check that is monitored closely by the Bureau of Immigration, as well as our national intelligence agencies.
Before we proceed, we'd like to recognize the presence of Senator Bongo. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, proceed, please.
So the department is looking at reviving that concept. But while reviving that concept, which market can be tapped to replace China? I can see that North Asia is a potential. We're talking about Japan, Korea, Taiwan, even Hong Kong. These are markets that are very rich markets, very developed markets, and they can be tapped to for the Philippines to attract tourists. So which markets can be tapped or can be strengthened to replace the Chinese market?
Mr. Chair, just to answer the first part of your question, the Department of Tourism has recommended to the Department of Foreign Affairs as early as September 2022 the continued rollout of the electronic visa. And since
For Chinese tourists.
that is correct, and since that time thereafter, we have persistently pleaded for its reinstitution, considering the slowdown in the arrivals of Chinese tourists. Notwithstanding that situation, the Department of Tourism has been constrained to ensure that we continue our efforts as far as other opportunity and emerging markets are concerned. In Asia, Japan continues to show very strong recovery and a healthy 16.7% growth compared to last year. This is complemented by the markets of Canada and Australia, which have registered impressive growth rates of 18.2% and 17.4% respectively. Across Europe, we have also continued